When you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to Magic 98.9. I have to say that was my God-given gift, and that's what my sign said. There were a lot of people, I have to admit, would look at that sign and say, Ted, the sign is too long. It said, I have a God-given gift of voice. I'm an ex-radio announcer who has fallen on hard times. Please, any help would be gratefully appreciated. Thank you, and God bless. Well, even the police department, when they would come and see the sign, they'd be like, damn, are you that pressed? You know, that you would put a book up there knowing that we're going to give you a ticket or either tear the sign up. But I have to tell you, that's what I guess God had for me to do. You know, standing on that corner, having what I deemed as being church. You know, in the 18 years that I was homeless and eating out of garbage cans and stealing and smoking crack and disconnecting with family and mothers and all, I was developing a relationship with my higher power. A lot of people didn't know that, you know. I took God everywhere I went. And you know, the one verse in Proverbs that says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not toward your own understanding. I guess that lean not toward your own understanding is what kind of helped me get through, outside of the faith of a mustard seed, because that's what I was trying to do. I said, well, I've got a God-given gift. You know, I've been to school for broadcasting, had a great time entertaining a lot of the motorists, you know. There were some people that when it said, I have a God-given gift of voice, they automatically assumed I was a singer. So I would have people come and say, sing me a song, I got $1. I'd be like, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, you know. But I stood out there and I was having church, developing a relationship, you know. I was a very successful radio announcer in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and I met a lot of celebrities, Luther Vandross. The only two, I put it to you this way, the only two I haven't met were Michael Jackson and Diana Ross. But I never gave God any thanks. Never thanked him for the voice, never thanked him for the opportunity to meet some of these people, interview them, and play their music. So I guess it had to go, and I must say that I wasn't the best father in the world. Dr. Phil made that evident. He had every mugshot conceivable of me, as well as mentioning to America and around the world that I was a deadbeat dad, and he kind of harped on that. So on January 4th, well, actually, I'll go back a minute. I'll let you know crack cocaine became a part of my life. Prior to that, I'd seen lots of people that snorted in the business, entertainment business. You know, just if you did any kind of drugs of that nature, marijuana and alcohol, I am a recovering alcoholic and addict, but alcohol was as deep as I got. And when I tried crack for the first time, I kind of felt like I could overcome that hurdle. You know, I'm not the kind of guy that can take one thing and make it just dominate your life. Well, the proof is that I was wrong. You know, it just took me to another level. It was like, wow, is this what I've been missing all these years? And in fact, yeah, I was missing it for the reason of going strictly to the curb. And I have a very dear, you know, I may get emotional along the way in telling my story, but, you know, it's been 3 years. And on August 4th of this year, I'll celebrate 3 years sober. I never thought that I'd have that. Thank you. That was a miracle in itself, you know. But I just stood out there really with determination that if I stood out there long enough, someone was going to hear me, you know, tonight at 8, 7 Central on ABC, you know, those kind of things. It looked very bleak because I had mentioned to everybody, and of course y'all remember that look I had. As a matter of fact, it's been immortalized in an embroidered pattern here on my hat, and I don't look too far from that now. But, and I love to find people that invited us here. I was running a little late, and bless her heart, my granddaughter, I call her my surrogate granddaughter, Rayla, but Patty is her name. She was knocking on the door, and I didn't have time to do my hair, so that's why this is here. But I want to say I stood out there with hope and determination that maybe one day somebody was going to hear my voice. And they did. A Columbus videographer for our local newspaper pulled over and he said, here, I'm going to make you work for your dollar. Say something with that voice. And I'm telling you, that dollar meant like it was $1 million to me because I've learned to be thankful for little blessings. Tell you a story in point. Lady pulls up to the corner And she rolls her window down and she's looking at me and I'm like, hi ma'am, how are you? She's like, fine honey, I'm trying to find you something. And she goes into her purse. Now I'm standing over her and I'm looking down in the car and there's a pattern of traffic laying in back of her. And I'm feeling like this lady is digging really deep. So I know she's coming out with a $20 bill. So I'm not going nowhere, lady, don't worry. I don't care if it rains right now, I'm not going nowhere. And she digs. The pattern of lights change. The cars are blowing at her and I'm standing there. Now I'm getting pissed. In the back of my mind, I'm like, Lord, how long, I'm speaking to God, Lord, how long is it going to take you to roll out this $20 bill? Well, she digs long enough to only come out with 13 cents. And then I guess the look on my face made her say, listen, if you're going to be here tomorrow, I promise you I get paid tomorrow. I promise you I'll give you a nice blessing, please, this, that, and the other. And all of a sudden, God said, if you don't make that lady think that your 13 cents is of any value to you, of any value, then don't ask me for nothing else. So I looked at the lady and I said, no, ma'am, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but if anybody else is in my place, please bless them with that. And at the end, she said, you're sure? I'm telling you, and she was looking at me like, I know this 13 cent ain't helping you, but I thank you for the, and I said, no, ma'am, believe me, this 13 cents, I needed it. And she said, okay, well, goodbye, and she pulls off. So I go back down the line, and I'm looking at the cars that are flying by now. They done finally got a chance to get through the light. And lo and behold, here comes a car pulling up out of nowhere. The dude rolls his window down and gives me 40 bucks. I said, Lord, you are a beast. Took that $40 and ran. But the point was that I had to be thankful for the little blessings, and I guess that's what we have to do in life. Every time in that verse that I mentioned, acknowledge him in all your ways. Acknowledge God in all your ways and he will direct your path. I'm not here to preach, but I am to tell you this, that God is not through with any of us yet. And the word redemption, I'm a poster child for redemption, I'm telling you now. He can make our lives brand new. He's reestablished my relationship with my girlfriend, who I must admit has been with me she's in here in the audience tonight. 18 years I've been with this girl, 18 years. And I got to admit, we haven't had the best 18 years, not relationship-wise. I'll tell you a real good story too, real quick. But we struggled together. She lived the life of a prostitute, and I lived the life of a hustler, crackhead, smoker with a God-given gift. Kathy, I have to tell this story because we ate out of garbage cans, literally, in the 18 years. We slept in hallways, we slept on floors, the woods, you name it. But I always, I was one of those type of people that when I would eat something and I drop it, let's say a potato chip, I'm very unwasteful, so I pick up the potato chip and I'll eat it. Well, that's even carried on now with money in my pocket. I still do somewhat of that. But she would look at me and say, ugh, how do you do that? And pick up something off the ground and eat. And I'd say, Vietnam. Now that was my word, and if there are any Vietnamese family members, I love you, it's nothing. It just means that people in Vietnam were very grateful for what they eat. We should not be wasteful, and we have to remember the people in Vietnam. So I'd always say, Vietnam, and she'd say, phooey about that. Well, into our relationship about maybe 7 or 8 years after she's told me how nasty that was, or, that I'd pick up things that I dropped on the ground. We had smoked about maybe $1,000 worth of crack in a hotel room that we were getting ready to check out of, and we were hungry. Well, Kathy said, well, let me go see what I can do. So she goes out of the hotel room, and she comes back within minutes with a pizza box. And in the pizza box was 3 slices. And she opens up that and everything. I said, where in the world did you get 3? And they were cold. I said, where in the world did you get the 3 slices of pizza? Well, somebody down the hall laid the box out on the floor, and I brought it in. I said, now that's nasty. She said, Vietnam, Ted, Vietnam. So I kind of converted her to being somewhat, but we've had a very, very rough 18 years, We had a lot of prayers. Now, here's the basis of what I want you to leave here with. I want you to know that there is power in prayer, regardless of what your circumstances and what's going on. There is power, even for the young kids, there's power in prayer. And something about a mother's prayer. I think God has a direct hotline to mamas around the world, A mother's prayer. I think we're all sitting here by way of a mother's prayer, I never gave up hope. And I built a relationship with God. regardless of what I did. I took him everywhere I went. You know, there's a lot of people that are not atheists or agnostic or whatever, but, you know, they just have a reason to not want to fully believe. I'm standing proof that there is a God, living proof that there is a God, that being thankful for little things, acknowledging him in all of our ways, and giving thanks when we're at our bleakest moment, giving thanks, you know, for everything. Everything is a great, you know, I was driving down the street the other day, and I'm driving, and I asked God, you know, I've always heard about mercy and grace. Mercy and grace. And I just never had a full understanding. I'm still trying to learn because God's not through with any of us yet. So I'm asking myself, I'm listening to the Temptations. I know you want to leave me. And I'm bouncing. I'm riding. And then I just, something told me, say, ask God, what is mercy and grace? So I said, Lord, can you give me a good sign of mercy and grace? And what came to me was that I'm driving in my paid-for car listening to I know you want. So that's mercy and grace. We have to be thankful for everything, everything, because there are so many people that are less fortunate. There's an old saying, and I'm sure you're all aware of it. I used to cry about not having no shoes until I met the man who had no feet. We have to be thankful and acknowledge him in all our ways. I have to say, though, in the 3 years outside of the acquired sobriety, I'm still with Kraft Mac and Cheese. I just signed up, and you know you love it. Hey, listen. 2011, on January 4th, 2011, I went from drinking Cobra to Grey Goose in a matter of hours. But I will say this, I not only got a new makeover in a smile, but I also got a Kraft macaroni and cheese noodle that is shaped in the way of a smile, and the tagline, you know you love it. So I went back on that corner that I was somewhat discovered on, and I stood there going, you know you love it. You know you love it, you know? So my fellow, the motorists that drive by remember me standing there many days with that look, blow the horn, go ahead, Ted, go ahead. I have to say that I am probably one of the most recognized, not by any stretch of the imagination famous. I am not an example, but I am a reminder that we do serve a God of second chance, a God of understanding and a God of prayer. I'm so blessed to be here in San Diego today, you know, to be here in front of you. What a blessing. What a blessing. And let's see, what else? I'm going on Dr. Phil soon to do a urine analysis test. The first time a piss test has been done in prime time, outside of a DNA test talking about, you are the baby's daddy, you know. So, as long as he doesn't say, next on Dr. Phil, is he sober? You know, or have my family, is your dad really sober? You know, one of those kind of episodes. I'm also going on Oprah Winfrey's Where Are They Now? I'm doing a lot of speaking engagements, Kraft, as I just mentioned, and I'm going home to do some other things. You know, the voiceover community is a very interesting occupation, and I've chose it as a child, not necessarily VO work, but radio broadcasting. But right now, I've noticed that my voice can do other things, and I never knew that. I thought, you know, when you're listening to nothing but the best of oldies, you're listening to, I thought, but now I want to do rated R, under 17, not admitted. Or, you know, I was listening to somebody the other day, you know, like I was just doing just a second ago. I love that. Tonight at 8, 7 Central on the Disney Channel. Yeah. Wouldn't you see the kids on the Disney Channel looking at something tonight? But I'm having the time of my life, you know, only because we have to believe in ourselves, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I look like a crazy mess, or as they say, a hot mess standing out there. But I believed that one day, and I stood out there, braved a many element, and heard everybody's sentiments about an able-bodied man standing on a corner, holding a sign, begging for money. From crackhead to get a job, you know, I've heard it all, you know, but I never gave up. You know, also, I have I'm giving you the 411 on Ted Williams tonight. I also have a movie part in a movie, and I'm playing a cameo role, and I'll give you a little quick tidbit. It's about an attorney who is very, and you got to hear this. This attorney is very blind, or wants to turn a blind eye to the plight of the homeless and the disadvantaged and all. And I'm playing myself standing out there. Well, this guy, you know, I'm nothing but a homeless piece of crap to him. So he stands out there, he reads my sign, but doesn't care less, and throws some hot coffee on me, which scalds me. After I'm scalded, he goes on with his life. He's running through, I'm not going to tell you the lead character's name, but he scalds me. And throughout the rest of the film, my voice haunts him. And as a result of that, he turns his life over, not to the care of God as he understood him, but turned his life over to committing to help those that are less fortunate. He hears me every so often. When you're listening to nothing but the best, you know, through all of his endeavors. So that's called Like Heaven. We shoot in Canada, hopefully this year, a little part of next, into the year. And then I also have possibly an audition for, I'll tell you, the NBA team in a little while, but I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your starting at guard, number 33 from the Denver Nuggets. Hey, don't say I said it. But I'm hoping for that, and so please keep me in your prayers. I just mentioned there's power in prayer, so say, Lord, Ted Williams needs another job. But I'm having a time. Let me tell you something. Again, the power in prayer, don't leave here with nothing but that. But I will say this. The blessings that I'm receiving today, being reconnected with my mother and my family, were prayers that were prayed over 35 years ago in many jail cells, in the street, under tarps, under bridges. They were prayers that I never gave up on. Lord, please. I wasn't the best dad, as I mentioned. As a matter of fact, I missed a lot of early lives in my children's lives. But now I've got 16 grandchildren who are walking around with doo-doo diapers talking about, Papa, you know you love it. Change that diaper. I'm having the time of my life. I really want to tell you. Again, it's 3 years, and I haven't stopped smiling yet. And I want you all to know that faith without works is dead. And if I didn't have nothing else on that highway corner, in spite of my hideous teeth, my crazy hair, I had a smile. And sometimes that works more than anything. When you could look at somebody, in spite of your whole bad day, but you could look at someone, your mate or whoever, and bring them a smile, or smile to them. Because smiles are free and they're contagious. You know, people would be like, how in the hell is he smiling? He ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. You know? Smile when your heart is aching, smile. But I want to thank you all. I don't know if my time limit's up. I don't have no cue person going, come on, wrap it up, wrap it up. But I want you to know, okay, I guess I can say one of the biggest, listen, I've met everybody from Nick Cannon to Howie Mandel and everything, but one of my biggest celebrities was meeting Ann Curry, Meredith Vieira, and Matt Lauer. That was, you know, January 4th, 2011, I'm homeless, living under a bridge with my woman with $18, and the next day I'm going live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza. I thought I died and gone to heaven. I didn't want no jobs or nothing. Lord, you can take it all. I met Matt Lauer. I go on Jimmy Fallon that night and talk about meeting Matt Lauer just brought the female out in me. Now, sooner said than done, I'm getting a lot of calls from the gay community. Hey, Ted, we'd love to see you. Hey. Just the other day, I have to tell you this, just the other day, I meet a linebacker. Personally speaking, the gentleman that was on before me, I looked at his arms. I said, damn, his arms is like my torso. You know? But the other day, I met a linebacker that was 3 times the size of him. And he, hey, ain't you that homeless dude that was on the Today Show? I said, yeah. He grabs me to take a picture with me, and it came out like this. You know, he'd be like, hey, man, come here, let me take a picture of you. I'm like, hey. So now when I see bigger people, I'm like, hold up, let me get you. Yeah. Because I'll never be swept off like that again. So now the picture's on Facebook. I'm having the time of my life. I really am. And being here again has really proved to me that God is still active in my life. So let it be known again more so than anything, keep the faith. There is power in prayer. I mean, when I say power in prayer, that means keep praying. Don't pray today and forget about praying tomorrow, because you need help along the way. I have to ask even now for forgiveness on a daily basis. Guy just cut me off. The guy, he don't give a shit who Ted Williams is. He's not going to, this, that, and the other. So I'm asking for forgiveness and prayer every minute of the day. Listen, the life that I lived for 18 years, the life that I lived for 18 years was not the best life. And so when I go to the grocery store, I got one more story, good one to tell you. Yeah, but the life that I've lived takes me in areas of stores now, in aisles that I have no business being in, because these are items that I used to steal for my drug trade. So here I am in the Bluetooth section of the AT&T, knowing I'm only trying to just buy minutes for my daughter's phone. Why am I sitting there staring at items that I used to steal? So the lifestyle that I'm having now, or the responsible living that I'm having now, I have to stay away from certain areas of stores. Not that I'm tempted to steal, but it just brings back that old thing, I used to steal Bluetooths, iPads, you name it, anything, flat screen TVs, anything. I have 4 penitentiary numbers. But here's the story I was going to tell you. And I have a book that's called The Golden Voice, How Faith, Hard Work, and Humility Brought Me from the Streets to Salvation. It's doing very well online and at a Barnes & Noble's near you. No. But NECN, the New England Cable News Network, gave me an opportunity to say, you're watching NECN, those kind of things. Well, it was up in Boston, the New England area. They gave me a Ted Williams, wrap it up. They gave me a Ted Williams throwback jersey, real fast. $400 Ted Williams throwback jersey. My girlfriend washed it right now, and it's a halter top. I love you. Thank you, San Diego. Thank you. Keep the faith.